to another episode of the Movie Brothers. I'm Ant, and this is Kev. We got a great show lined up for you today. We're covering Baggage Claim and Don Jon, and we're going to jump right into this thing with Baggage Claim. So, Baggage Claim, we have a romantic comedy that is rated PG-13, has a runtime of 1 hour and 36 minutes. It's directed by David E. Talbert, who is a playwright. You may know some of his work. He's done some straight-to-DVD stuff. And also, it's starring the lovely Paula Patton.
Lovely.
Did I say lovely?
You said lovely. Okay. Can you say it again?
Lovely.
Okay.
Paula Patton. And we also have Derek Luke, Jill Scott, Jennifer Lewis, Adam Brody, and a host of other cameos that make an appearance in this film.
Absolutely.
So in this movie, we find a 29-year-old flight attendant played by Paula Patton that is desperate to find a husband. But in her pursuit to do that, how far is she willing to travel to get that proposal?
All right.
So let's take a look at the trailer.
My relationships have never been cleared for takeoff, but at least I'm not the only one in my family not to be married.
We have some news.
I'm engaged! I can't go to my little sister's wedding single.
If you need a man, honey, I can get you one of those.
There's Tanya in ticketing.
Calvin at curbside check-in.
And there's Cedric in security.
Take everything out your pockets. I need your pockets out your pockets.
One of your exes is on a flight from Los Angeles to Houston.
Montana.
Langston.
Montana.
Curtis.
Montana Moore.
Damon Diesel. Wow, you're doing well for yourself.
Damon?
Who is that?
Damon!
This ain't my house.
Spent your whole life being your own woman. Why you want to change now?
I just would really like to be somebody else's too.
Now is not the time to get down on yourself, Montana. In a week, maybe. What are you doing?
He just wanted international travel booty.
That man could have had intergalactic travel booty.
All right, so Baggage Claim, man. Kev, I thought this was a pretty good movie, man. You know, already?
Already.
You going in already?
I'm not going in yet. It's all on you. Please proceed.
You know, starring Paula Patton. I think she did a pretty decent job in this movie, although I must say I was a little bit disappointed just because, just personally, I think Paula Patton is a great actress. I had and still have high hopes for her just in terms of her overall career. And I'm just seeing this trend here lately that's a little unsettling to me in terms of her just playing the bubbly chick in the romantic comedy. She's doing that in Here in Baggage Claim. She's doing it in Just Right. She did it in Jump the Broom. And it's just this trend. I just, don't want to see her fall into that little box of, kind of Gabrielle Union type space. No offense against her.
No offense.
But it's just that kind of that same type of role. And, I'm thinking about the Paula Patton that was in Deja Vu. And so, I'm just expecting to see a little bit more out of her. What did you think, Kev, about Paula?
Well, I thought Paula... Let me just break it down and be 100, keep it 100 with you. I thought this was probably one of the worst performances that I've seen from Paula Patton. And like you, I expect a lot out of her because I've seen a lot from her. You see what she was able to do in movies like Mission Impossible, like you said, Deja Vu. She's been in a lot of things that have allowed her to do a lot more than just be the bubbly chick that you talked about. Having said that, man, I just felt like the title, this movie just drags a lot of romantic comedy baggage along with it that we have seen, over and over and over again.
We also have Derek Luke in this movie, who I think did a solid job.
He's probably the best thing about this movie.
Maybe so. Well, I wouldn't say that. In terms of performances, maybe he gave the best performance.
Yes.
And there's a huge supporting cast in this film. Too many names to name, but from Boris Kodjoe to Taye Diggs, we had I was impressed. Trey Songz is in this movie.
Yep.
It had one of the funniest scenes, in my opinion, in the whole movie. Him alongside Tia Mowry. They were both very funny in this film, so that was a nice surprise. And thankfully, he didn't do that little. Yep. So That was pretty cool to see. And then we also have comedians Affion Crockett and Ricky Smiley in this movie.
Right.
And those guys are funny and they're cool. But the problem is, and maybe there were too many cameos in the movie because they didn't get a chance to shine.
Right.
And so they had very short clips and didn't give the scenes enough time to get fully develop the joke and get that out.
I agree with you.
And so I was disappointed by that.
camera is begging for more from them, but they're there for like that
Hot
long.
second, man. Hot second.
Before they're
So-
gone, and they really not their performance didn't really get a chance to develop in anything.
Yeah, so the director man left a lot of meat on the bone with those guys because I think they could have brought a lot of extra funny to the movie, but unfortunately due to time did not get a chance to do so.
Right.
Overall with this movie, hey, it's a romantic comedy. There's nothing new here. You've seen this many times before, but I think that's okay. It's just in that cute romantic comedy kind of space. Go in and check it out, get a few chuckles, that type of deal, and get your popcorn, and get out of there.
Right. I just want to see our good black actors tackle something a little bit more substantial, even in the realm of romantic comedy. I want to see something a little bit more original. That's all. I didn't really feel like there was a whole lot of originality on display here. We knew exactly what was going to happen. The movie is chock full of stock characters, like the gay best friend, the sexually promiscuous best friend, and we know exactly what jokes they're going to tell and when they're going to tell them.
Yeah.
Okay. So I really didn't think the movie stepped outside of the stereotypical roots in which it was born in, and that's what I would like to see from us. Okay, as filmmakers, as producers, directors, actors, give me something a little bit different. Give me something a little bit different. I'd love to see beautiful black people on screen, on camera.
Yeah.
Love to see that. Okay, and maybe in order to see that, we have to show that we can actually go out and spend money, not bootleg. Okay,
Right.
but
No
go
doubt.
out and spend money to see
Yeah.
these movies. But that's what I want to see. I want to see a little bit more originality, a little bit more, a little something new on the screen.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that. So with that said, do you want to throw some points on this thing?
Throw some points on it. I'll go first since I already know that I'm going to be vilified for what I'm about to say. I would give this movie a 5 out of 10. I think that it gets you halfway home, but it ultimately is paper thin and it's not going to really stick with you. There are moments that have some chuckles in it, some funnies in it, but for the most part, it's a movie that I probably would not go buy or rent on DVD.
Gotcha. Okay. For me, for this movie, I give it a 6 out of 10, solid 6 out of 10. No, there aren't any surprises in this film, but it's just one of those, hey, it's a date night movie or it's a ladies' night out movie. Either way, I think, there is a female involved.
There was some ladies sitting behind me during the movie, and all they did was just talk to the screen the whole time. They were having a ball. So if you have a bunch of homegirls you want to go to the movies with and talk to the screen, hey, perfect movie for you.
Absolutely,
right here.
yeah. And a good message, too. There's a good message in the film about marriage, and so I gave it a plus sign for that, too. But there you have it. So next we have Don John. Finally, a movie about some porn.
Bow, chicka, bow, bow.
So we got Don John, which is rated R, has a runtime of 1 hour and 30 minutes. It's directed by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, which this happens to be his directorial debut. It's also starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt, as well as Scarlett Johansson, Julianne Moore, as well as Tony Danza.
Right.
So in this movie, we have a young 20-something ladies man that's living the life with a healthy dose of porn and pretty girls until he realizes that maybe there's more to life than porn and objectifying women.
Right.
Let's take a look at the trailer.
Let's do it.
There's only a few things I really care about in life. My body, my pad, my ride, my family, my church, my boys, my girls, and my porn.
That's her?
That's definitely her.
She's a dime.
Oh, this girl's more than a dime for her.
Oh my God, were you in love with this girl already?
Sure, I've seen this girl.
Oh my God, what's her name? What's her name?
Why'd you say yes to me?
I'm just gonna have to wait to find out.
All right, I got time.
You're cute, I like you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Listen, you want to know the truth? You're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
You like movies?
She caught me watching porn.
That's it?
Right? Oh!
How do you watch that?
How do you watch all the stupid movies that you watch?
Movies and porno are different, John. They give awards for movies.
They give awards for porn, too.
Wow, Kev, Don John, man, I really enjoyed this movie. You know, across the board, I thought the acting performances were just top notch, A1, great cast. But I have to mention Scarlett Johansson and Tony Danza because, I mean, they really knocked it out of the park on this one.
They gave two very standout performances in this film, and you got to give it up, like you said, for Joseph Gordon-Levitt. For this to be his first film, he shows a very deft hand behind the camera.
Yeah.
He knows exactly what he's doing. He gets some really good shots. Does a lot of things that you don't typically see from first-time directors. I thought he was really on top of his game, and I thought he did a really, really good job.
Absolutely, absolutely.
One of the things that is featured prominently in this film is how in today's society we become addicts over everything. Okay, it's not just women who get objectified, it's men that get objectified too, because yes, this movie is called Don John, and it's about a character who is addicted to pornography, and as a matter of fact, he needs pornography in order to establish what he thinks is a real relationship with any woman. Okay, because to him, the pornography, the sex that he has while he is watching these porno movies is much better than what he has or what he sees or what he actually experiences with real women. Because real women don't hang from the ceiling and do all this acrobatic stuff in bed that he sees, you know, really kind of fantasizes about in these movies.
Right.
So he doesn't know what a real relationship is supposed to be like and what it's supposed to look like because he's too wrapped up in the pornography. On the other hand, Scarlett Johansson's character suffers from a very similar, you know, affliction in that she's addicted to romantic comedies. So every romantic comedy that she sees, she feels like her real life has to mirror that. If a man is not fulfilling her needs like a romantic comedy leading man would, then she wants nothing to do with him. So really, it really talks about how media and society today really kind of messes us up in terms of our ability to have a real relationship that's worth anything.
Yeah. So what I really liked about this movie, Kev, is just, man, the dialogue is so real.
Right.
The conversations that take place, it's almost like for you women out there, ladies out there, this gives you a peek behind the curtain to, you know, some of the conversations that fellas have at some point.
What's it like to hang with the fellas on a Friday night?
Exactly. So you get a little bit of peek, you know, at that, but the dialogue is so real, and this film just will spark a lot of conversation after you see this movie. So that's one of the reasons why I enjoyed it so much. All right, you ready to throw some points on this thing, man?
Let's throw some points on it, man.
Okay, so, you know, overall, I think Don John was a great movie. Yes, because this is a movie about a guy addicted to porn. As you can probably imagine, there's a ton of sex in this film. So if you're turned off by that or, you know, don't like seeing that on the big screen, this may not be the movie for you. But if you can get through that or you are okay with that, I think it's a great movie. I give it a 7 out of 10. Like I said earlier, will spark a ton of conversation and debate after you see this movie. Kev?
Absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that this is a really, really solid effort from Joseph Gordon-Levitt for all the same reasons that Ant mentioned. Great performances, great directorial debut. I give this film a solid 8. It will spark a lot of conversation. It may not be the movie that you are going to take your girlfriend to. She may not be feeling it the way that you are. But, you know, I cannot imagine that any red-blooded male, would not want to see Scarlett Johansson in just about anything. But I think she does a good job. Joseph Gordon-Levitt does a good job. All the acting is top-notch. I give it an 8.
All right. There you have it. All right, so that's our show for you today. We are the Movie Brothers. I'm Ant. This is Kev, bringing you nothing but the real on the real. Peace.